Hello again, everybody. Today I have a book review for all you guys watching at home. Today I will be reviewing Walking Disaster by Jamie McGuire. It is the sequel to Beautiful Disaster, and it literally just came out like less than a week ago, so this is hot off the press. And honestly, I finished it about 15 minutes ago, so I have a lot of emotions right now, so it was a good time to get in front of camera and talk about it, don't you think? Okay, we'll see. Let's go. For those of you who have read the first book, Beautiful Disaster, all you need to know for the plot of this book is that it is the same story of Beautiful Disaster, just told from Travis's point of view. Pretty basic, right? If you have not read Beautiful Disaster, here's what you need to know about Walking Disaster. This is the story of Travis. He's kind of his college's playboy ladies man, whatever you just want to call him. He just is really good at picking up women, I guess. But all that kind of changes when he meets freshman good girl Abby Abernathy. And at first the story comes across as kind of, bad boy meets good girl kind of romance. But it has some really different twists along the way. Abby is kind of hiding this secret past from everyone else that she just kind of tries to hide away and hope never gets out. And then Travis himself comes from a really interesting past, and he's still kind of really just deeply hurt by his mom's passing when he was a child. So together, these two people have really different backstories, and from there, a friendship, possible relationship kind of unfolds. As many of you guys know, I actually really enjoyed Beautiful Disaster because it was just like the ultimate guilty pleasure novel. It's not something that was, I read it and I was like,
my life has changed because I've learned so many life lessons from this book.
No, but it was entertaining. It had a few good twists along the way, and it was just fun to read. And pretty much I had the same feelings towards Walking Disaster. Because this is told from Travis's point of view, there were just a few added scenes or added details that I really enjoyed reading. First off, I absolutely adored reading Travis's relationship with his cousin Shepley. That's probably being pronounced wrong, don't kill me, but that's how I read it in my head. They just had this really fun relationship. They swore at each other, they made fun of each other, they picked on each other when they were falling in love. I just liked the dynamic between Travis and Shepley. They love each other, but they're tough guys, so they don't really want to show it that often, and it was just fun to see that play out. The second thing I just loved seeing from having Travis's point of view, there was really only one or two scenes with this, but I really liked seeing what he said to get these women just fall for him. But it was just really interesting to see, what makes him such a ladies' man. I get it, he's got tattoos, he's good looking, he's got the motorcycle, the bad boy look, that's great. But it was just fun to see, what does he say to make this happen? What does he say to get this reputation? And there was one or two scenes where I'm just like, okay, Travis. I was just glad it was included because I'm glad I had that look into his life. If you are like me, when you read Beautiful Disaster, you liked Travis, thought he was an interesting character to read, sometimes a really good guy, but you didn't love him because he is insanely violent, pretty controlling here and there, and he has a bit of an alcohol problem, or at least I think he does. So reading Beautiful Disaster, there were some times where I wanted to kill him. I wouldn't say I'm in love with him now after reading Walking Disaster, but I would say I feel for him a lot more, and I understand him a lot more. So I'm glad that I got this chance to read from his point of view. I won't give anything away, but if you've read the book, the book opens up to a prologue where we just get a really intense look at Travis's background and childhood, and it made me feel for him. And then throughout the book, just getting into his mind made me understand him a little bit more, and it was just really helpful. Just to mention the things that I didn't like as much, I'd say the really big one is that every now and then I did feel like I was just rereading Beautiful Disaster. When you tell one story over again from someone's point of view, there are going to be points where big events kind of overlap. There were just some times when I was reading Walking Disaster that I just kind of had to put the book down and walk away because I already knew what was going to happen, so I didn't have that motivation to read as much. So if I was going to say there was one problem, it would be that. I will say that I probably had most of those thoughts towards the first half of the book, and I was actually really impressed with the second half of the book. I think I like the second half of the book a lot more, just because, without giving too much away, there are more opportunities in the second half of the book where Abby and Travis aren't necessarily spending all their time together, so it's just really interesting to be like, oh, I wonder what Travis is doing now. Oh, I wonder what he's thinking now. Oh, okay, that's awesome. So for that reason, I definitely enjoyed the first half of the book, but I will say for some reason, just the second half was just more enjoyable for me because I felt it was more like it was just a deeper look into Travis and it wasn't as redundant. Without giving away any spoilers, if you were like me and you already read A Beautiful Disaster, when you picked up Walking Disaster, you were kind of hoping that the ending might be a little expanded a little bit more. I'm not going to say about what, but I was just hoping for maybe like a 10 years later sort of thing, or just to see what was going to happen. And this book has that. So I actually really enjoyed it, that it wasn't necessarily a retelling all the way through. There were some added bonuses. And I'm actually curious if we're being set up for a third novel or not. It was definitely just a surprise, and it wasn't, like super detailed and just like really extensive, but it was just a really interesting glimpse, and I've kind of been craving it for a while. So I was really happy it was included in this. Overall, I really enjoyed this book pretty much just as much as I enjoyed Beautiful Disaster. If you haven't read Beautiful Disaster, I would read that one first. You probably don't necessarily have to, but I just would because why not? If you are going to read Walking Disaster, my only advice for you would be just to go in with the mindset that every now and then the book might feel a little redundant, but if you can get through that, you will definitely be rewarded with just some really interesting looks into Travis's mindset and into Travis's life that I thought were really worthwhile. So that is what I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Please, in the comments, let me know what you thought about either Beautiful Disaster or Walking Disaster. And if you read Walking Disaster and want to discuss it a little bit more in detail, let me know, because I am totally up for making another video that's more of a discussion of Walking Disaster that might have some spoilers so we can get talking about it. But you have to let me know, otherwise I will not do it. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you tomorrow with another video. Bye! He's just good at getting women, I guess. It's really ironic that a motorcycle's in the background right now.